recently I've been seeing a lot of posts that deal with the physical aspects of our daily lives and what we go through and what we're going through as far as the immigration, the Muslims coming over, and war is coming, and all this is true. And make no mistake about it. A war is coming, regardless if we want it or not. It's going to happen. But one of the things that I would like to focus on in this video, and it's an aspect that I believe that we as wokenists and odinists must never forget, and we must never lose focus. And that aspect is the spirituality of what it is that we do. And with Yule coming up, and Yule being one of the major bloats for the wokenist and the odinist, I think it's time that we create a balance between the physical aspects of our belief and the spiritual and mental aspects of our belief. And one of the things that we always have to remember, and we definitely can't forget it, is that our ancestors were able to combine their physical daily lives and the political scene and everything that went along and what they dealt with in a daily life. They were able to combine that with the spiritual aspects of the worshiping of our gods and really turning to them and really looking to them for the proper guidance, looking to them and waiting on them to give them the answers. And I think that sometimes we get so caught up on the physical aspects of meaning reading the books, learning the runes, saying Hell Odin, Hell Wotan, Hell Baldur, Thor, Tyr. And I think that we get so caught up on that we have really forgotten the spiritual aspect of each one of these names and what they represent as far as our guidance within the day. And even now, there's so much call for unity, and I'm not on bashing the unity thing. Everybody knows my stance on that. But what I am on is the unifying of our physical and spiritual within our daily lives. Because you can spend so much time working on the physical aspects of the body. You can be as big as you want. You can be as fast as you want. You can be good with bows, swords, guns, karate. It doesn't matter. You can be all that and some. But if your spirituality is not balanced with that, then you're kind of like a loose cannon without direction. And I think that we as wokenists and odinists, we need to get back to our spiritual side. We need to create that balance so that when we deal with the physical aspects of life, it's connected to the spiritual part and it creates that balance that we need. And we have to always remember our ancestors. For those of us who claim to love and follow our ancestors always put the spiritual before the physical. They always turned to the gods. They always studied the laws of nature. And by doing that, it created the balance that was necessary in order for them to achieve the ultimate goal. And our ultimate goal is to honor our gods, honor our goddesses, and honor our ancestors. Because without them, without these two elements, we would not be where we're at today. we would not be in the position that we're in today. And what I mean by that is by us leaning on them, by us turning to them, it helps us to keep that tribal aspect alive. Because in our history, most of the pagans or heathens, so some people don't like the word pagan, so I will use the word heathen. Most of our heathen ancestors were all tribal based. And it was that core belief that held them tribes together. And even today, we see a lot of heathens who are turning to the gods and the goddesses and using that as the foundation and the cornerstone in which to build their tribe. And every tribe will have its physical traits and it will also have its spiritual traits. But if its physical traits outweighs the spiritual, then history has shown us that these tribes will crumble. Because its center should be based around the gods, the goddesses, and everything that tribe or individuals within the tribe do should always be a reflection of our gods and our goddesses. People should be able to look at you or your tribe and say they manifest the true belief of the gods and the goddesses. And how do we do that? One of the ways that we do that is by establishing bloats. There's a reason why the bloats are established. There was a reason why our ancestors did the bloats. However it is that they did it. But there was a reason. And the reason for it was because it brought the tribes together and it unified them under one belief, one understanding. It didn't bring them together based upon a dogma, because each individual will look to the gods and the goddesses in their own light, in their own way. They will come up with their own understanding. But within the tribe, there are rules that are laid down. And these rules, in many cases, are rules that deal with the physical aspect, which is bringing in new members, bringing in people who are potential members. There will be rules to that. There will be physical rules. There will be spiritual rules. Physical aspect, they will have to have a workout regimen. They will have to conduct themselves in a manner that is befitting of what the tribe is trying to portray. On a spiritual level, there will be spiritual rules that are handed down, such as our tribe follow this set of gods, and you need to learn about them. You need to be a follower of the Norse gods. You can't be a Christian. You can't be a Muslim. You can't be a Wiccan. You can't be anything other than what our tribe has set its spiritual path on. And you'll be told that you have to learn runes. You have to learn sagas. You have to learn all these things. And in many cases, it's not explained to you why. Because when the gods and the goddesses see fit to reveal the truth to you, then that is the only truth that really matters. That is the only thing in life that matters. What does the gods and the goddesses reveal to you? So you don't have to have the same spiritual background that I have. You don't have to be as spiritual as one person over another. It's not a competition. Where it becomes a competition in many cases is in the physical aspect. As I always say, I can't speak for other tribes, but I can speak for Gallows Tree. And Gallows Tree has a bylaws. We have a physical regimen that we have to uphold. We have a spiritual regimen that we have to uphold. And there's certain things that a person must know. And there is a reason why they must know. And part of the spiritual aspect or the spiritual development in many cases will be the disagreements that we have. These disagreements can be based on anything. It could be, I read a saga about Wotan. You read the same saga. You seen something different than I seen. This doesn't mean that a conflict should arise between you and me. What it means is that we're both on the path of spirituality. We're both on the path of growth and the development. So I might see something different than you. It doesn't mean that I'm greater or lesser than you. It just means that the gods and the goddesses have shown me something different than they showed you. And the reason why I bring up this subject and the reason why I decided to do this video is because I see so much in-house bickering about who's more wokenist and who's more Odinist. Who's on the right path, who's not. This tribe does something I don't like, so I talk about this tribe. This person does something I don't like, so now I'm going to talk about him. That is not the character of a wokenist, and it's not the character of an Odinist. Because there is many instances where I have disagreed with my brothers and sisters. And there's been instances where we've had some nice discussions. Notice I didn't call them debates. Because truth needs no investigation. Truth stands clear from error. So we've had some nice discussions. And in many cases, I was proven to be wrong. And I openly accept that I was wrong. And there's been instances where I still believe I'm right. But it never leads beyond the learning process. It never goes beyond us having a helpful or a healthy discussion. So let us always remember that within wokenism and within Odinism, there is a battle that will take place between members of a tribe and members of a society. We might battle each other in the physical aspects. We might box. You're a better boxer than me, so I'm going to go learn how to box even better because I'm coming back to you. And we're going to try this again. That's a healthy battle because it means that one person has reached a level that he's making everybody else have to elevate to his level. He will never come down. It's the same thing with knowledge, the same thing with spirituality. A brother who has reached a high level of spirituality or a high level of knowledge, he is never going to come down in that level. He's going to make everybody come to his level. And we might not understand what this individual is trying to teach us. Just like in the sagas, many of us read the sagas and we don't know what the gods and goddesses are trying to teach us. But we strive to learn. Wokenism and Odinism is the exact same way. We battle each other in a positive light. Especially now, with us facing the conflicts that we're facing now. It becomes important for us to have these healthy battles because steel sharpens steel. We sharpen each other. If we fight with swords and you dent my sword, I'll take my sword, file it down, take the dent out of it, and we coming back for some more. So let us create a balance. in our tribes and in our personal lives. Families, tribe, folk, whatever and however you want to do it. But we must always put our gods and goddesses first. They are the pinnacle of what we seek. With that, Helsa, and hail to my tribe, Gallows Tree, and hail to all those brothers and sisters who struggle and continue to try to find that balance. May we find the balance together. Helsa.